Now, with the COVID-19 pandemic causing unprecedented disruption, many companies have been compelled to respond by creating new ways of operating and doing business fundamentally. The COVID-19 crisis brought about years of change in the way companies in all sectors and regions do business. According to a new McKinsey Global Survey of executives, companies accelerated the digitization of their customer and supply chain interactions and of their internal operations by 3 to 4 years. And as Emily Chebet reports, Kenyan companies are facing the reality that this new workplace normal could be here to stay.
With the onset of the COVID-19 crisis, the government established protocols in line with the health safety guidelines to help minimize risks of infections. This included proper social distancing and hand washing, disinfections, among other containment measures. It was immediately clear that the implementation of social distancing at the workplace would be a challenge depending on the number of employees and office capacities. The idea of workers working in and out of office at the same time every day had become a tradition since the Industrial Revolution, and therefore changing this caught most entities off guard. But some organizations and institutions in Kenya managed to successfully shift from physical to remote working and teaching operations. Ronald Vosi is the group managing partner at Ronald's LLP, a tech-based audit firm located in Westlands, Nairobi. Before the pandemic, over 100 people would have fit in this facility, but now they have less than 50% of their employees fitting here.
We were completely terrified, and especially because of the uncertainties that characterize our business. So by adjusting the performance evaluation from time-based to activity-based, that really changed the way we manage the business, and that's how we managed to navigate.
For his and other tech-based companies, COVID-19 was a catalyst of change that was necessary. Working from home for more than 100 employees was the first challenging step that they had to take. It took a psychological and cultural change to move from the office setup to a Wi-Fi and a laptop setup in one's home while still being productive and effective.
We have one workflow software that we use known as Jetpack. And when COVID hit, it really came in handy because what Jetpack does, we're able to upload all our assignments on Jetpack, and the manager or the supervisors in charge are able to track the assignments. So it's very easy for the employees to upload the assignments, the managers to track, give comments, and it also ensures that no assignment or any task that falls into the cracks.
Learning institutions were also affected when the pandemic hit, and within no time, the government announced the closure of schools, meaning the learning community had to quickly adapt. Some learning institutions managed to shift to online learning where Zoom, Skype, Teams and other applications were used by learners and their tutors to continue with their education.
Universities have always prioritized face-to-face learning, and that is where most of the investments have traditionally gone. So you find institutions investing in laboratories, lecture rooms, lecture halls.
Universities and other institutions of higher learning opted for virtual learning for a majority of their students in line with social distancing protocol, but there still remains a myriad of challenges, especially for those learners who could not access or afford daily internet use.
What the university has done in the past, particularly so the last quarter of last year, the university would, for instance, buy bundles for students, all students, depending on their class, participating in virtual learning.
A poll released mid-last year showed 8 in 10 Kenyans believe that working from home is ineffective as they had to deal with too many distractions. However, tech giant companies are leading the charge towards remote working, with Twitter announcing last year that their staff might never need to go back to office if they do not want to. And Facebook said half of its staff could be working remotely for a decade. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV.